Radio Kappa.
Legend has told of the year 2016. It has been said that it will be the grand year of Twitch drama. It will be a year of deceit. A year of lies and theft. A year where friends would turn on each other. A year where the robots rise. It will be a year for chat to bring out the salty corn.
I don't understand what the problem is. You're like saying we're not friends. I don't know what I did, bro.
Salty
Yeah, I don't know.
corn.
My son's a little strange. I remember him trying to sell me a tournament
Salty
spot
corn.
once.
Fireback's now is like pure urine.
Salty
He was just causing unnecessary chaos, and I just personally think that Firebat needs to mature.
I personally think that my computer needs to mature. Jesus Christ. Sorry about the delayed start, folks, but we are here for another awesome episode of Tavern Talk, THL's first and only official recap show. We got fun stuff lined up for you tonight as we have reached the exact midpoint of Season 2. We're seeing our final week of non-divisional play before we go into the kicking and scratching that will be the battle for the top of each division. We have an awesome show lined up for you tonight as we'll have the one and only Mr. Almace making his first return back to the show since his co-hosting duties back in Season 1. Our rules for the evening, for those of you who are 21 and over, are as follows. Whenever Cassidy looks at his phone, whenever anyone says, oh boy, or oh baby, whenever Slimsh or I cry about anything related to our team's Bible thump, or just anything in general, we're super sad at the moment. And on the flip side, whenever Cassidy or Almace try to downplay the success of their teams, which are doing a lot better than Slim Shaman's at the moment. So with me, as always, to my left, your right, is the one and only bearded beauty, Mr. Slimsh. How are you this evening, sir?
All things considered, I'm doing well. Good times in Slimshland, Manletville. Can't complain.
In the Manletville and Manletopolis over there. Holding down the bottom left corner of our square, as always, is the one and only Mr. Cassidy. How are you, sir?
The light shall burn you.
Oh, baby. And last week it definitely did. With us, like I said, for the first time since co-hosting, really happy to have him back. Now captaining up his own team, former brother in arms over at Entropy, the one and only Mr. Almace. How are you, sir?
What a wonderful introduction and lengthy. Thank you.
We got a little bit of the wind tunnel going on there again, Mr. Almace. Just a little bit, just a touch. So we got a lot to go over tonight. A lot happened in week 3. A lot is going to happen in week 4. As we said, we are at the exact middle point of the season. All this non-divisional bullshit is gone after this week, and it's down to playing against those you are fighting for the playoff spots against, which I know I can't wait to get my hands on continuing over there. They're trying to run away with that red division, and somebody's got to put a stop to them. So I'm excited for that matchup coming up. This is normally the time where we would do the Wicked Wednesday Power Hour and recap. Bible thumb. Press F to pay respect, folks. Despite his best efforts and constant contact with the folks over at Strivewire, unfortunately, we were not able to put together Wicked Wednesday this week due to an error on Strivewire's side. Mange did every damn thing he could to make that happen for us. We have been semi-assured that it should be good to go for next week. We will see what happens.
Ooh, there's good news though.
Oh, there is good news.
Next week they jacked up the prize pool by 10 euros.
For
You now get
for
you
Wicked
get 8
Wednesday.
if you get first.
What?
Yeah, for Wicked Wednesday. Big
Look at-
money. This should
That's
be
a
a good
meal.
Wow,
meal.
that's almost enough for Slimsh to cash out.
one. Yep. I'd like it.
So, anybody that just wants to do Power Hour for the hell of it, go ahead and just, I mean, I feel like a college freshman tonight. I got no mixers. I listen, Eric, I want sponsorship from Tito's. It's become like my new water. We need to get that rolling, but no mixers, just straight up.
Cassie, I see you there. We gotta take a drink now.
Kappa. All right, let's get into this. We're slow rolling in here.
Yeah, we are.
So the week that was, let's get right into week 3 and let's dive straight into a couple of the biggest matchups that we saw in week 3. Just because I know it's something that's on a lot of our minds. It's something we really want to talk about as the Harry Generals went and threw down with Synergy. A clash of this season's Titans. I don't think many of us, except for maybe one guy who had them ranked in the top 6, thought much of the Harry Generals this season. Here they are going up against Synergy, a team that many people placed within the top 4. What are your guys' thoughts on this matchup? How it played out, and was there a shock factor, or have the Harry Generals kind of shown that this is the caliber of team they're going to be this season? Don't everybody speak at once.
Well, they did kind of what I expected them to do. I've been pleasantly surprised with Zenergy so far, but they did take a tumble to who I think just is a superior 1 through 5 lineup. I think the Harry Generals can beat anybody, and they are a scary, scary roster, and they just keep proving that beating good teams.
Yeah, I thought it was pretty crazy, especially since if you looked at the individual, the Harry Generals, they won out between the 1 and 3 seeds against a team like Synergy with guys like Katoda in the 1, Pastry in 2, Vendy Click in the 3. Like these are guys who were outside of Pastry got put up for the All-Stars last season just because of how powerful they are in their respective slots. So to do
The
that
Markshire
and then also
pickup has
take
been
it out.
huge.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Markshire's huge, and then they also took out Petrucci's been continuing to be powerful in the 5 seed too. So yeah, just really, really, really strong performance. Pretty nuts.
So a question I'd like to ask of Al Mace, who rode with Entropy last season, alongside myself and Markshire. Al Mace, what do you think about Markshire coming back to the league? First off, and second, back to the league in the 3 spot.
No, never actually. Like our first season, we did really well. The season we played it. We were kind of stomped on throughout the entirety of our time when I was in Entropy, and it was really unfortunate. But Markshire was always really impressive and pretty awesome. I'm glad he's back because we need more better players. For sure, all the time.
He's definitely one of those players of extreme quality that you just love to have in the league.
Oh yeah.
So I don't. So here's the other piece of this, guys. Is like the Harry Generals. Cassie, you said they have the capability of beating anybody, but to hold a team like Synergy to 8 points, I think is what really put the exclamation point on the win for me. And apparently, if we don't mention Andy Rogers being Katoda, Jedi will never have to hear the end of it. And seeing as he already has one queen crying in his house with his newborn, we don't need another queen crying where he's supposed to be coming to relax. So congratulations, Andy, for beating Katoda. But do you guys think it's shocking that they did in fact hold Synergy to only 8 points this week? Or, I mean, is it just what we're going to be seeing from the Harry Generals this season?
I just look at like the Gurn Blanson Sacred Jew matchup went to game 5. And so they only held him to 8, but if Sacred Jew wins one more Hearthstone game, it looks more like 10. So it's probably a closer 18 to 8 than it looks like on paper. But yeah, I wouldn't be that surprised. Like that's the kind of the caliber of team they have. They can win 4 out of 5 matches really, probably pretty easily.
So Harry Generals looking good, moving into second place in division with that big win. Synergy in no threat with the loss, even at only scoring 8 points. They're still riding pretty strong in the 2 spot over there in green.
It's true.
So moving on down, want to take a look at a matchup that I think was a little more interesting than a lot of people probably gave it credit for, as we tend to focus on the top of the brackets and who's doing what. This Golden Wisp Filthy Role Players game that happened. The reason that I think this is so interesting is because many of us kind of slept on Golden Wisp. We knew they had a certain caliber of player to them. And then in weeks 1 and 2, they come out guns blazing and do work against some pretty good teams, and then they trip up here over those filthy role players. Do we here feel like the slept on Golden Wisp, Team Golden Wisp? Do we feel like they slept on those filthy role players? Why did this week not go as well for them?
I think personally that this may have just been a case where we saw wins come out of the 1 and 2 seeds for those filthy role players, notably Arbitrary Armor. And I think they're good players, just new to the league, and they finally gotten to take a little time, and they've had a few weeks, maybe reflecting on some Murlocs that they may have regretted. Alex Draza went 3-0, I believe, this week. So, yeah, I don't know. It might just be something like those filthy role players finding their stride a little bit in this week.
And we have to assume that, we didn't bring 3 Murloc decks this week either.
It's amazing what can happen when you bring good decks.
Yeah, so definitely very interesting to see, first off, those filthy role players stepping up against a team that has, in their short history, proven to be a team that you don't want to mess with. So it'll be interesting to see how both those teams now sitting in the 3 spot, how their season shapes up as we move forward, finishing up non-divisionals this week, and a lot to fight for going into divisionals next week. The other big matchup that I wanted to really highlight over there and dive into before we looked at anything else was Team Supreme versus Pure Strategy. Right? Like, that's one of those. This is Yankees versus Red Sox. This is frickin'. I don't know. Name something of football, because all I hear up here is, I live in New England. All we hear is Patriots, Patriots, Patriots. I couldn't even tell you who else plays in the league. That's why I watch college football. But like, this is the clash of the Titans here. Both teams in the 50-plus range for total score right now. And we see that Pure Strategy, I don't want to call it sneaking away with the win, because I think many people here, Cassidy, had faith in Pure Strategy pulling out the win over Supreme. I mean, I don't even know where to begin with this one. There's so many talking points. There's so many talking points in this one that I think we should probably start with Yuri versus Dear Jason, 2 500 PR players. Slim, you've had experience against both of these guys. 3-2 result. I mean, what do you think about this matchup? Like, shocked by it?
I just wouldn't. I don't know. I mean, like, close matchup between two very powerful players. Yuri's been hitting up the ladder recently.
Yeah, what's up with that?
I don't know. He brought his trusty priest. I don't know. Dear Jason and Supreme as a whole, I don't know if this was a very predictable pattern. I haven't noticed it personally. I haven't been looking at them since we haven't been playing them, but for some reason, their entire team, I believe they've done it this week as well. They all are bringing Hunter, which is a very underrepresented class. So I don't know if Pure Strategy got wind of this and they reacted to it. Like, Yuri's got that priest there. Like, 3-2 against Dear Jason. I wonder if he just didn't let Rexar get a win or something like that. Would be kind of my guess. Like, I think players can identify weaknesses like that and capitalize on them. That can make all the difference sometimes, but yeah, I don't know. Don't mess with Euro, man.
How about this one, right? So we have the Euro and Dear Jason. You got 2 heavyweights slugging it out, and 3-2, as you said, very close, very respectable. Kind of what you would expect from the matchup. This next one, shocked, not shocked. Hambowen and Cheesy. Hambowen pushing it to the very end. Cheesy sneaks away with the win, but Hambowen keeps it close. I mean,
Not shocked. Hambowen's really, really good. Really good.
So I know we've talked about Cheesy as potentially being another 500 PR player, as Cheesy's sitting right at 496 now. So Supreme with the possibility of having 2 500 level players on their team this season.
Cheesy's 500 now in week 4.
Oh, and sorry,
Dear Jason 496.
Got you.
Yep.
Oh, so we have a flip flop. I'm sorry, I'm looking at last
Yep.
week's stuff still. We already knew during last week's Tavern Talk about Brock, the 3-0 to Moo, Applesauce Factory, the 3-0 to Prometheus. Hendog not getting the win against Brainiac, but keeping it close. And Brainiac is continuing to kind of carve a little spot down there, trying to figure out the 5 seed in this league, which is it's a bag of mixed nuts down there, man. You get some pretty solid players, and then you get some guys that'll bring crazy stuff against you, like what Hendog bring against me? I think he brought Egg Paladin or something to that effect against me. Like
those,
just
tho-
crazy stuff.
those 3-0s in the 4 and 3 spots for pure strategy against players Moo and Prometheus, who, especially in Moo's case, had significantly higher PR than Brock. I think we're seeing
Right.
big things out of Brock there.
Moo
Pretty
might
crazy.
be the most bipolar player in the league. She's either sweeping or getting swept. Like there's like no in between with her.
Mhm. Yeah, it is. Or just not playing at all and just getting DQ
Yeah.
is another.
Or just not showing up.
And then for the sake of Slimsh's tears, we will just mention the fact that the Ghost Who Casuals played the Top Deck Kings. Well fought match. Both teams coming away with a tie, but unfortunately, both teams currently sitting on the bottom of their divisions. I feel your pain. Feels bad, Slimsh. I will drink with you because while I'm not crying, on the inside I am.
Yeah, let's drink together. Feels bad, man. This is healthy adult behavior.
Yeah, we drink away our problems. So let's move away from those green blue guys, man. Like Byron and I don't
Let's
care.
move away from them.
Yeah, Byron, Cassie, and I, we don't care about what's going on there
It's
with
nice
those.
red tone. That's what I'm all about.
Yeah, let's head down here to where things are.
I mean, I don't know about you guys, but being up in blue green, I like looking down at your side of the neighborhood over there and see what's going on. I bust out the popcorn and everything. It's good entertainment to me.
Well, you know what scares me?
Against blue green.
Here's what scares me when I look up at blue green is the amount of teams that are at and over 50 or damn close to 50 points already in this season.
Right.
Whereas if you take a look at orange and red, yes, you do have Continuum and Team Rank 5 represented here tonight, sitting pretty atop their divisions.
For now.
For now. Downplaying the success. Cassie downplaying success. Let's drink.
You humble people.
Yeah, right. But you
Until
look
you
below
win.
those two teams, and you have a straight up fucking arms race between the other 6 teams in these two divisions. I don't know why on my screen it still has Entropy listed in the 2 spot when we are very clearly 4th in red. But if you look at the standings, for some reason they have us right below Continuum on the screen. That is incorrect, as the Dream Team and Archon Storm are sitting tied for 2nd with Entropy in 4th. And then you look over at Noob Central and the Superheroes, separated by 6 points. But Boom Squad is not out of it by any means, as they are only 11 points down, and a big swing or a big win could get them right back in this thing. So if we look up at the matchups that were, let's just go ahead and get it out of the way. Let's get all the crying over. Team Rank 5 took Entropy behind the freaking shed, and just annihilation happened.
20 points! 20!
Maximum amount of points earned for Team Rank 5, as Parker put the whooping on Twiz, Cassidy put the whooping on Salt, Furpo. The only person that had potential last week was Aether. Thanks, Aether, for being a part of our team. We appreciate
Shining
you.
light.
I decided that I didn't want to piss off God, so I let his son just walk all over me. I don't know, guys. I'll put it up to you. Shocked by the result? Not shocked by the result. Obviously, Cassie's not shocked. He's Team Rank 5 all the way.
Felt so good, man. Oh, it felt good.
Calling it bye week, apparently.
Ouch.
Oh, wow.
That hurts real hard. That hurts so deep.
So Byron, as you guys look at this week coming up, and you see what Team Rank 5 just did to Entropy, first things first, are you shocked by the outcome? Are you kind of, all right, that's what we expected at Team Rank 5? Like, sitting over there, knowing you have to play them this week, and knowing that you have to play us coming up in the division, What
Right.
did watching this matchup mean for you guys over at Continuum?
So, I mean, I know thanks to the All Stars, I know Team Rank 5 better than just about any team besides Entropy people have been on, and I know that they're great and they have one of the best team mentalities around, which is terrifying. It's absolutely terrifying to fight. Uh, so I wasn't necessarily surprised that they did well. You know, I always do hope for Entropy to keep on going, but I will try to avenge you guys this week. At least I've got that going for you. I'll try to carry on your honor as a bit of Entropy, pick up some of the pride for you.
Appreciate it. Biggest
Terrifying though.
Yeah, so you look at the 1 through 5, you look at the results that were posted up there. Which scares you more? Um, I mean, I was gonna suggest 2, but there's so many results there that could be absolutely terrifying. So you gotta pick one result from last week, Team Rank 5 Entropy, that's not necessarily scares you, but makes you nervous going into this week. Which one is it?
Man, this is one of those on-stream fear things. Arthur Rose is good at this game. I know that, and I'm up against his opponent. He got smoked. Yeah, and that's a little disconcerting. I'm not necessarily looking for that's by far my scariest matchup is the one that I actually have to play myself. My team's been doing great so far. This is a quick shout out to my team is just carrying the mantle for me. And definitely shout out to Necro Havoc for subbing us for 2 weeks. He did great in that spot. No, like the team's doing great. I'm more worried about myself. Yeah, he went 5-5 against people that he was terrified of. So
You know,
well done on his part.
while we got you here, we can pick your brains about the success that is Continuum right now. You know, a lot of us looked at your lineup. We look at Continuum at the beginning of the season, and we go, all right, we know Crayon, we know Grim, but what the fuck? Who are the rest of these dudes on this team? Um, did you know? Did you know these guys coming in? Like, what was your mentality to putting a team together? Because I also know that you got into the captain game real late in the season.
Real late. I didn't have a whole lot of time and a whole lot of people to work with, and I got incredibly lucky in building a team as quickly as I did. My game plan was simply to play a few games and chat with the people to make sure they didn't drive me crazy or anything because I had short time to make a team. Everyone seemed really cool, and everyone just crushed me in the practice games that I was playing with these guys. I lost every single game that I played against these guys. I was like, well, this seems like a really good sign. When I can't get a win off these guys, and I'm playing actual decks. This is bad, but it's great at the same time. So I got really lucky when I got my people shoved together.
So we do look at some of the known entities over there. And I like to bring them up. I like to give them a shout out when I can because I know it makes his day. How does it feel having Grim down there in the 5 seed, man?
Man, I'm trying to check the stats right now. Has he dropped a game yet? Like, it's great having him down there.
Got you.
I am loving the wins he's bringing in. So no, it's wonderful. If he could just, if we ever lose sight of having finals of any kind, just tank that PR so you can keep down that 5 seat. People alive.
Wow.
Okay, I think he's dropped 1 game so far. But yeah, he's won every week so far, which has been very nice for us.
So I like to give him his acknowledgments because I know he's working hard on becoming a better player, and I can't wait till him and I get to throw down as we move forward. What else did we have going on over in the orange red? We had the Boom Squad finally finding their way to a win. I think we're gonna see a recipe here of D Lyman gets his 3-0, the team wins. So that's gonna be the recipe. D Lyman wins, the team wins. That's my prediction. They're gonna follow their leader onwards and upwards through victory.
Yeah, something like that. The recipe for success for Boom Squad this week was pretty interesting. It was the lower seeds that won 3 out of 5 games, so they took a close win. So good for D Lyman, Asuna, Tiny Hippo.
Yeah, good. You know what? Good job, Tiny Hippo. Taking on Rad Dreams, who won on Were they streamed? Were Tiny Hippo? No, Rad Dreams and I Am Plan B were streamed, correct?
Um,
I don't know.
I Am Plan B
Not
played
sure.
against someone else.
No, I'm pretty sure it was the week before, but
He
you know,
played
we've seen
Nubasaurus this week.
yeah, we've seen some good stuff out of Rad Dreams this season, and he's climbing that PR up in the 250 range. And here's the tiniest of hippos down there at 100. Not call him out, just saying as low as you could come into the league at. And he sneaks out a win. Good for you, man. Asuna doing Asuna things over Lemur. Interesting to continue to watch Lemur grow in the 4 spot. It'll be interesting to watch what happens as his season continues on, bouncing back and forth between that 4 spot and the 5 spot, as him and Rad Dreams share a pretty similar PR with a lot of room to fluctuate down there. And then we had who was last but not least here? The Superheroes in Archon Storm. A whopping 4 points out of the Superheroes this week.
Yeah, feels entropy,
Rough.
man.
Oh, I'm done. I'm done. Show's over. Show's over. You know what, Slim? When we were talking about blue green, I left you alone, man. I left you alone. And you gotta come out here, cunts. Oh,
To be fair, though,
I would like to talk
the
about
Super Sam Clark Kent match was a 0-0, so it wasn't quite entropy level.
it. Bible thing.
oh man.
Schedule those matches on Monday, people. Works for me.
Yeah, actually, PSA will do it now. Make sure your matches are scheduled. Make sure your classes are submitted. Hey, when you're scheduling your matches, give a specific time. Not any of this sometime Saturday afternoon crap. Man up, name a time. All right. Wow. I don't even know how to recover right now. That just hurt. That just hurt. Continuum to continuum
okay,
things.
Can always fire him back.
I mean, I don't even want to talk about it now. I don't even want to talk about the week that was. I just want to move forward now. But we do have Almace here. His team did play. They did win. Congratulations. Sorry, that salt is completely directed towards Slimsh. I was gonna ask, is this a statement for Archon Storm? I mean, we knew that they were taking the season easy. Verde will be the first one to tell you they've kind of been coasting, but putting that kind
Verde
of
says that, but he's like hitting legend every month now, so I don't know. I don't know how much I'd buy it.
So is this them putting their foot back on the gas, or is this just the opponents they played this week? I mean, I don't know how else to word it. I just got called out for Fields Entropy, man, so I'm still recovering over here.
I think this was Archon Storm reminding us that they still know how to play Hearthstone. They went up against a team with a lot of inexperience and where Archon Storm was kind of favored in a lot of spots. And Gideon Echo, I mean, we want to talk MVP candidates so far. He has not dropped a point to my knowledge. He's like 9-0. And he just continues rolling over people. So he's a big part of that as well.
He's like Hearthstone.
He's this season's Hurts. All you have to do to be an MVP is be the 4 spot in Archon Storm, and you're good to go.
Pretty much, yeah.
Seems good.
So let's move back down to
Cassie's on his phone. Drink.
Oh, baby.
I just hung up on someone, man. We should drink for that. Rest in peace.
Ooh.
Person.
Press F to pay respects to Friday Bay.
She's Saturday Bay.
Saturday.
Because we have Team Rank Friday tomorrow.
Oh yeah, we got so much Team Rank Friday going on, which we need to get to. So let's finish this up and talk about Continuum and whoever the fuck they played. Who did they play? Noob Central. Yeah. So Byron, what do we need to know about the matchup that was this week from you guys?
Aside from Necro Havoc stepping up once again to avoid the DQ, but the team did great. I dropped the ball. We had a terribly close game 5. Absolutely heartbreaking for me. It was one of those, like, turn 2, I know the RNG is just going to throw me away. I'm going to have trigger warning from arcane missiles from now on. But
no.
The rest of my seeds did awesome. Necro Havoc got us points. He put us on the board. It was great. I am looking really, really far forward for the playoffs within the lead bracket, though, because I'm a huge fan of
I'm gonna pretend I heard that last sentence.
Oh no.
I heard
I'm
I
really
heard you
excited
look.
about the red bracket. Oh.
Gotcha. There we go. So here's a question for you. Did you watch? And I'm gonna try to be as PC about this as I can. Did you watch the matchup between Gemini and Mr. Grim Gamer?
I did not.
Um,
I was out for the time, and I just heard 3-0 pop up on our little group chat, and I was
you were happy.
moving on with my life, and that was all I saw.
So here's the one question I'll ask them for, and here's how I'm gonna word it to Cassie and Slimsh. If Gemini gets the fireball out of her hand, what would your and for those of us who saw the stream, you know what I'm talking about. For those of you who didn't, I'm sure the VOD's out there somewhere. I'm pretty sure it was on MV Parker's channel.
Yeah.
If Gemini gets the fireball out of her hand game one, you had to guess, because that's all it is, a speculation. What are the results of this series if that fireball leaves her hand?
She had lethal.
Right, but the series. We're looking at broad spectrum. Is it still Grim 3-1, or do you think it goes differently?
Well, as far as the series went, she was playing Tempo Mage, he was playing Druid. To lose that favored matchup in the first game of a series is just, it's heartbreaking, especially due to a disconnect. I think it changed the whole series. Absolutely.
So you still haven't answered. If you had to speculate, what was the final result if that fireball leaves the hand?
Oh, of just the entire series?
Yeah, numbers, 3-something, one way or the other.
Oh, gee, there's 4 other games to play. I can't tell you that.
So he's gonna just take the Slimsh good guy route out. Cassie, I know you were there. I know you were watching.
Yeah.
What do you think the end result of that series is if that fireball leaves hand?
Probably Graham 3-1. I just think he had a better lineup ready to rock and roll. But that DC probably induced a little bit of tilt, so maybe Gemini wins the series, but I don't know. I tend to lean toward the lineup and the experience, and I think Grim probably just wins 3-1.
He's been playing well lately, man. He's been playing
Yeah.
really well lately. So I like to get the matchup based guess there as we look at what's left, and of course there was some tilt involved afterwards, and it's frustrating that happens. And just so those who watch know, it's something we're still discussing within the board. We'll let you guys know when we know how to go about things in the future.
I believe we made a decision.
Did we? I don't remember.
Yeah, if indisputable proof of lethal is there, we decided to be able to award the win. So
that's non-RNG.
If that happens on stream again, yeah, if that happens on stream again, no RNG involved. Gemini had spotted the lethal. That would be considered a win for her. And if you're not on stream, if you can snag a screenshot before your client, vomits all over itself, then we would be able to award the win. So again, if you have indisputable lethal in hand and you can show it with proof, then you can take the game.
And
so
in general, this even more so, this is a current rule, and because lethal with the disconnect is rare, that's a pretty rare case. This shouldn't happen very much, but in general, if your opponent disconnects, it's within the rules. It's a common courtesy to rope and give them as much time as possible to try and reconnect to the game.
And that is, for those of you who are unclear on the roping rule, you're still allowed to play your cards. You just are supposed to use up the entirety of your turn.
Yeah.
So this is not saying, because you don't want to wait 4 turns and the combo druid reconnects, and guess what? It just so happens to be turn 9 when you could won 3 turns ago. But it's just a common courtesy to continue to rope, max out all your turn as you continue to do what you would have done on that turn anyways.
Become the life coach.
Yes. So I'm clicking out week 3 because I'm done talking about that fucking shit week. Thank you, Slims, for reminding me. Drink, everybody. Just fucking drink.
Okay.
Let's get into things that matter, like power rankings, because that's a thing that happened.
Oh yeah, let's talk about those.
Oh,
Team rank 1, boys.
So, as those of us who aren't humble braggers, no, he doesn't even humble brag. He just humbles. There's no bragging following it. As everybody not named Cassidy suggested before the season, we see Team Rank 5 move up to number 1 from number 4. I don't think there's any shock here. I'm actually surprised it took this long for them to make it up there. Their play this season has suggested it, and I don't disagree with it at all. What do you guys think?
That's where I put him. Makes sense to me. It's finally been realized.
Byron, you're down here in the land of the red and the orange.
I am.
Is that where you're seeing them at too?
Team Rank 5 is one I would have put up there. My top picks for the red and the orange actually are Team Rank 5 and Archon Storm themselves, obviously, out of self-cheering.
I want them to be up there because that's where I said they would be.
Exactly.
And, you know, I'm just going to pick out the few that I don't find to be shocking at all, but they're there. They should be talked about as the 1, 2, 3. So with last week's number 1 and number 2 both falling and being Supreme was last week's number 1, Xernegy was last week's number 2. They both lose. The teams that beat them move up. The teams that lost move down. So we see Team Rank 5 number 1, Harry Generals number 2, Pure Strategy number 3. I don't think there's any arguing it. And I kind of anticipate this what's the word I'm looking for? Trend. There we go. To continue throughout the season of watching teams kind of do the NCAA football thing where if you beat number 1, you become number 1 sort of deal, or at least you get damn close to it. But we see probably the new kid on the block here continuing to climb up the ladder. Continuum jumps from 8 to 6. They have broken into that top 6, which has to feel good for Continuum.
I just want to say that the fact that Continuum is still all the way down at 6 is just a mockery of the THL.
Yeah.
They have more points than any team in the league, and they are winning. And I don't know. I smell a Xernegy team member writing these power rankings because you guys shot yourselves up to 2, allegedly. And then only fell down to 5 after a loss, allegedly. And I don't know. I would put Continuum definitely top 5, if not even top 4. And they only 6.
I don't know. See what happened here between weeks 2 and 3, right? The Harry Generals were 5th. Xernegy was 2nd. Harry Generals got a big win. They traded spots with Xernegy. I don't know.
Well, here's the other piece too.
Continuum should be a little bit higher with that many points. It's just they're down so low.
Here's the other thing too, though, guys. Hold on. Let's pause for a minute. Let's pause for a minute and look at this objectively, okay? Because I'm a huge Continuum fan. I'm a huge Almace fan. I've been talking him up for as long as I've had this forum to talk him up in. But let's look at this objectively. In the red division, you have 3rd through 4th is the lowest 3rd through 4th combination of any of the divisions. Number 2 is in the 40s or 50s in every other division. But if you look at who Red has been playing, those teams that are low in Red have played Team Rank 5, Noobs, or Noob Central. Continuum has played the Superheroes in the Boom Squad. Objectively speaking, the most points have been put up against those 2 teams this season.
Well, wait, they played Noob Central too, because we're 3 weeks in.
Right.
They did.
But what I'm saying is they are the only ones that have both not Noob Central, the Superheroes and Boom Squad under their belt. Scoring, I want to say 20 points both times. Let me double check that to make sure I'm not lying. No, they only got 13 up against the Superheroes. But they did get 20 against Boom Squad.
Right.
But objectively speaking, those are the 2 teams that at the moment opponents have put up the most points against, followed by Entropy. We like to get scored on because you don't score until you score. Yeah, I went there. But with that being said, I don't know that I disagree with it in the fact that you have to look at strength of schedule at the moment. And I do think while their score is impressive and while I am cheering for them to do great against everybody except Entropy until their points matter for keeping me out of the playoffs, I don't think 6 is unfair. You know?
I don't know. I think the strength of schedule argument makes itself because Continuum is the reason those teams have been scored on, or at least a big part of the reason. So, I mean, we're not in week 6 and saying, oh, Continuum beat the team that's 0-5. Like, Continuum beat the team that was like 0-1 in week 2. You know, I don't know. I think they should be higher.
So I can forgive us being as low as we are right now. New teams are sketchy at best. We had a small time to put us together, so like I can get why we're lower, and we have gotten a lot of points. That's why those teams have so few, is because we got a bunch of points. But I feel like this week's going to be the big deciding factor because we are taking on a ranked team right now in the power rankings, and so I think that the week 5 power ranking is going to be the really big decider as to where Continuum's going to land. So
Yeah. If you win, I think you're going up.
there's no excuse at
way
that
up.
point, right?
Yeah, right.
Way up.
Well, it
Way
goes
up.
back to my earlier argument of college football. If you guys beat number 1 this week, like I don't see how you don't become number 1, especially when
Exactly.
Maybe.
you gotta look at the teams in between, right? And
Number 2.
I don't know, man. I just think that
You're going places if you do.
yeah.
Like if we sweep team rank 5.
Oh well,
that's
yeah.
safe.
If you 20 to 4 us, feels entropy, man.
If it's a
then,
close win, if it's a
if you
close
give us
loss,
the entropy treatment, you'll be number 1.
Oh man.
The shed's right there.
Entropy has become an adjective synonymous with frickin' awfulness.
Thank goodness I bailed ship when I did, right?
Yeah.
Feels bad, man.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. You know I love you, Jackson.
It's okay. Tito loves me too. We're good.
There you go. All right.
So my beloved entropy falls down to number 9. Slim and I actually had this talk this week. I am very grateful that that's as far as we fell. I think that does have to do with the fact that we got our asses whooped by the team that's being dubbed number 1 in the league right now. We'll do better this week, guys. I promise. We definitely have. You know, Lemur asked me to talk about before we came on what happened last week with entropy. And truth of the matter is, and I think you ask anybody in our camp, we just got outplayed. You know, plain and simple. We got outprepared. We got outplayed. Was there frustration? Nobody likes losing, man. But thankfully, we have Furpo and Twiz in our camp, and Furpo's reaction to his loss was fantastic. Had us all laughing. And within 24 hours, man, we're on to the next one. Which is kind of the mentality you got to put the past behind you. Ghost Who Casuals follow us in the falling trend. Feels bad, Slim. We'll fall together. I'll be your parachute.
Thanks. I didn't want it to come to that though.
It's all good. We can climb together. We'll climb together. Even though you made this this new feels entropy man thing happen, I'll forgive you and I'll help support you in your climb back up the green division. And then we see the bottom of the pack.
I always want to get to a higher place, you know.
Yep, we see the bottom of the pack shuffling around. Boom Squad moving up. Those filthy role players moving up. So on and so forth. Let's get the hell out of here and let's move on to things. Such as week 4. Because this is where I'm at, man. Like, the past has to be the past right now. You gotta have a positive outlook looking forward. And plus, let's face it, everybody knows what happens. The stat sheets could tell anybody that wants to look at it. What the people come here for is Cassidy and Slimsh's insight on what's going to happen next week. It's a laugh at me as I'm usually hammered by this point in the show. Somebody else talk. I'm sad. It feels entropy, man.
All right. So, week 4, blue-green. Oh, starting off hot here. The Harry Generals versus Pure Strategy, 2 teams that just, as we saw in the power rankings, went up huge. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, they're in a good position within their divisions. There's a little bit to lose here. There's lots to be gained, especially bragging rights. What do you guys think?
Yeah. I'm just going with yeah.
Worth noting, we have a result.
Oh, we do.
3-2 to Brock, which that must have been one great match, I have to say. Those players in the 3 seed are really, really special. I think Brock's going to be on the rise, but Markshire he holds it down, man. He's what, 12-2 now? That's insane.
He's up there. I think that he's another guy that as the season goes on, if he continues the performance he's having, we might start hearing some MVP chants there. We'll have to see what happens with that. But yeah, dude, this is one of those situations where both teams do have a lot to fight for. I don't really think that either one is in jeopardy of losing their control on a playoff spot this week. But I think that the Harry Generals in that tie with Supreme,
Yeah.
they do not want to give up any ground. I think it might be more important for the Harry Generals to score points this week than it is for pure strategy. Not because pure strategy doesn't care or want the points, but when you look at the way the two divisions are shaken up, I feel that pure strategy can afford to drop more points than the Harry Generals can. Although, if Ham Bowen's been given an opportunity to whoop up on Jedi in any way, shape, or form, um, he's going for it. So I can't wait to see that slugfest happen. I can't wait to see what happens with Yuri and Andy Rogers. I was told I needed to apologize to Andy Rogers for calling him out, but you know what, Andy? I think you can
Queen
get your.
wants reparations.
I'll tell you what. You can beg for reparations all you want, but this might be a blessing for you. I think you're gonna get your ass kicked this week, just like I thought you were gonna get your ass kicked last week. So go ahead and win again, and then throw it in my face, and maybe then I'll apologize. But until then,
Wow.
I'm gonna keep picking with my gut, which my gut right now says that Yuri beats you. Sorry, had to get that out there.
Woo.
Mm-hmm. 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 All right. Let's Cassie, Almas, you guys got anything to say on that one? That's probably one of the marquee matchups of this week.
Ooh. Poker Hamboin? Anyone?
Oh baby.
Yeah, I'm pretty excited about that one. I think the Harry Generals will take it, especially seeing that they've already got a 3-2 under their belt. I'm telling you, that team is stacked,
Mm-hmm.
and they are an absolute force to be reckoned with. I'm so glad they're on the other side of the bracket.
Absolutely, yeah. I have full faith in Harry Generals taking this one. And again, I'm so glad I don't have to fight them in the regular season.
Right? That's like down here in Red Orange. It's just like, wow, slug it out, have fun, guys. We'll be down here.
Great.
I don't want to skip around too much, but I think if we're gonna talk about number one green against number two blue, it's only fair that we also talk about number one blue against number two green.
Yeah.
So, we also have, as the Harry Generals of Pure Strategy throw down, we also have Team Supreme and Synergy throwing down. Um, I think it's interesting, though, that these two teams are facing off. Pure Strategy and the Harry Generals are both coming in on a high note, having won big matchups last week. And both Synergy and Team Supreme are coming in after showing their human side and this vulnerability, and maybe there's some of the chinks in the armor here that both are looking for that foot up, and it's a great pick me up to win. So as pure strategy and the Harry Generals are throwing down, we lean towards the Harry Generals there. How do we feel about Supreme and Synergy? And do we think that these results will be enough to flip flop those top four teams around, or do you think that even at the end of this, pure strategy will remain above even a winning Synergy? So there's multiple questions laced in there. Who do you think is going to win Supreme and Synergy, and do you think the margin's going to be enough to change up the top of the green division?
4-point difference.
So, I think Supreme's going to win. So, let's see. What is the current difference at the top? Synergy is down by 4 to Pure Strategy.
4.
I'm going to say no. Maybe they could be tied, but I think Pure Strategy will still be barely ahead of Synergy.
I think it'll stay
I think Supreme is out for blood. Moo got a 3-2 win. Right after I say she either sweeps or gets swept, she wins 3-2. And, yeah, I just think that cheesy Dear Jason combo, I don't care who you are, like, good luck against that. And when Moo wins, that just makes it feel even more pressure that you want to steal one of those at the 1 or the 2. So, well, you have to steal one of those at the 1 or the 2. So, yeah, I think Supreme's going to win this week. And Parker's going to hate me for saying that, but it's okay.
Yeah, it's tough. Feels bad for Koda, for Katoda. He fell off the 500 PR bandwagon. Feels bad, man. Yeah, I don't know. It's really stiff competition between Cheesy and Dear Jason. They keep bringing Hunter though. I don't know. Like maybe Synergy's read up on this and they're prepared to react to it. I'm not sure. Like things like this stick out to me big time. I can't see anything particularly reactive on their camp though. So I don't know. I do also think that Supreme probably wins. I think it'll be close though. Like Zenergy got beat up bad last week. I think this one will be a bit closer. But yeah, I don't know. I see Supreme and the Harry Generals fighting quite a bit for that top spot.
And some quick mentions of some other spots going on here is we got both the podcasts facing off. Team Golden Wisp going up against your very own Gosu Slimsh, and Top Deck Kings going up against those filthy role players. Uh, Sorry to say it, Slimsh, but the Team Golden Wisp needs a big win here, and I can't help but to think that Alec notices this. And I don't think that they're sleeping on the Gosu Casuals by any means, but I definitely think that they're coming out looking to get as many points as possible this week, as they need them to stay within this ridiculous blue division race that's going on. How do you see your guys stacking up this week against Golden Wisp?
Well, what was I going to say? I'm blanking. Yeah, they need the points. So they took a pretty bad loss to those filthy role players, which if you look at the current standings and just how things are in general, we're currently pretty even with them. So I don't know. They're feeling pretty bad. I know Alec is out for big time revenge because he got 3-1 or something. So he wants to beat me. Everyone wants to do that. But I don't know. I don't know. I'm not too afraid this week, really. I think last week we thought that we had a big opportunity to get huge top deck kings who are at the bottom of the blue division. That obviously didn't happen. We tied against them. So I don't know. You just gotta keep pushing because at this point in the season, it's I don't know. You gotta bring your A game every week because it's all going to matter at this point. The margin is very wide between where we are in the green versus where Synergy and Pure Strategy are securing themselves. So
And
we need a big week here, there.
Yeah, beating your own division is going to be so much more valuable too. Like
Yeah.
these teams with these large cushions have to realize that even like the closest matchup that's not a tie is still going to see like a net difference of like 5 or 6 points. So there's a lot of points out there to be had when these teams are going head to head when it comes to standings.
Yeah, that's true. Just wins beforehand help. Like if you win
Oh yeah.
most of your games, you're going in with 9 extra points, which yeah, that's quite the cushion.
All right, let's move on to divisions
Feels bad,
that matter.
man, but hoping.
Let's move on to divisions that matter. Let's talk about some fun stuff, man.
Bible thump.
Yeah, right. So I got the two gentlemen sitting right here that I really wanted to hear from the most. Super pumped that Almas can make it here this week to talk about this awesome matchup of Team Rank 5 versus Continuum.
Oh my god.
Gosh, man. These are two of the top teams in the league. What I mean is literally the two top teams in the league. Continuum having the most points at 55. Team Rank 5 having the most points at 54. And you look at these lineups from top to bottom, and you can't help but to think of like, oh, look at that match. I mean, the number ones are separated by 4 points. The two spots are separated by 12 points. There is quite a discrepancy in the 3 spot, but I mean with Inbulk down there, we all know about the UTI.
UTI.
You do have another discrepancy down there with Mange and Crayon. With Mange being almost a full 100 points ahead of Crayon.
King of the jungle.
Yeah, baby. And then you have Grim and Jesus.
We're ready for this one.
I'm not gonna lie. It's not often that I feel this way, but I think part of this too is I've seen a lot of these guys play before. Jesus and Grim is one of the most exciting matchups for me to watch this week. I'm a 5 seed player. I already played Jesus. I have Grim yet to play. But I also think it's a very interesting matchup of two players who started off as absolute fucking potatoes. Team Rank 5 has
grow up into these beautiful French fries or tater tots. Oh, it's so great. You just gotta water them. You gotta give them the care they need, and then they sprout. You throw them in the deep fryer, and they're just delicious.
Yeah, a lot of people in chat are agreeing, man, that the primetime matchup this week is that 5 seed matchup. Not discrediting anything else that's going on. I think that words. I'm trying to find words right now. MV Parker and Adidas. You look at theoretically skill wise, one of the closest matchups in this throwdown. I think that Al Mesa Cassidy is super fucking interesting, but I also know both these guys.
I think it's bullshit.
What?
Tired of playing the best player on the other team, even though I'm like the third or the fourth best player on my team. It's getting old, man. And it just happens. It just finds its way. So, yeah, gotta do that again. Feels entropy, man.
God. Just continue
Not
to get
dropping that at this point.
continue
No,
to get.
no, that's gonna be around forever.
I
Keep
feel
on
like
going.
I feel like that emote's coming soon, guys. Oh god. Hurts.
So what do you guys think about Despair? Continuum's Despair is going to be playing this week. Has been subbed out up until now, correct?
Mm-hmm.
What do you think about that going up against Imbulk, Almace?
It's a little stressful. I'll be hanging out with Spare either tomorrow or Saturday morning. Hopefully, scheduled too soon. Trying to get him back on his feet and getting him back. He won his first week quite convincingly. And he's been out for the last 2 weeks, so he is definitely going to be rusty. But I've got faith. I mean, again, he's a good player, so I'm not too scared about it. Shake off some of that. And that's probably the it's the most scary one, but purely because he's not been able to play in the last 2 weeks. So discrediting him.
Yeah. Yeah, that'll be interesting. If only these guys would ever submit their classes, man.
Right. So.
Right.
Oh,
or
run the
not.
clock out.
I mean, yeah, I wouldn't mind a free week. I mean, I don't get a free week because I still got to play against Cassidy, but team-wise.
I think that was a slip there. I think he really did mean that it's a free week if.
No, well, like if we got 3 free wins from DQs, that'd be fantastic. Like that'd be wonderful. But no, I still got to fight Cassidy. I love Team Rank 5, man. Team Rank 5, Archon Storm, and Entropy are the most exciting teams for me to fight, and I get to fight all 3. It's gonna be a great season for me.
Right. It's almost like the people that made the divisions knew what they were doing.
Man, it's
almost. No, we just fucking winged that shit, to be honest with you. Who else do we got going on over here? You know what? Archon Storm and Boom Squad. This is one of those situations. All right, so here's my theory on Archon Storm: is that yes, they're in cruise control, but there's certain personalities that Verde just wants to beat. I think part of the reason we saw the performance out of Archon Storm that we did last week was their desire to beat Super Sam. I know that D Lyman is a player that Verde would love to beat. I know that Brunson is a player that many of the guys on their team would like to beat, as we all kind of hang around with one another. And I think this is kind of going to Almace's point here. If there's certain people you just look forward to playing based on like knowing them throughout the community and having like this history with them, I think this may be another case where we see Archon Storm wanting to step up to really put the hurt on the team because of who they are playing, not so much as try hard mode for the sake of beating their buddies rather than try hard mode for the sake of winning. Do we see Boom Squad taking their success from last week and rolling with it? Our very own D Lyman rocked. Slim, show us the name of the tournament. I get it wrong every single time.
God. I can't remember.
It's like Esports Heroes something invite or something to that effect.
No, that's this weekend for Alec.
See, this is why you don't let me. Anyways, D Lyman took it to the finals of a tournament, potentially earning himself some WCS points, and I do not believe he did.
I think he did get them.
Did he get them? So
he probably do for second place. This was the Nint Esports Open number 5.
So he's stepping up and getting that suggested tournament practice that he also needed.
Yeah. Yeah, he really needed that tournament experience.
He never had any before now.
Maybe he can actually win one next time. Only the finals, second place. Jeez.
Always the bridesmaid, never the bride.
Exactly.
At least he's at the wedding.
Damn.
Feels bad. No, this matchup is this is my number 1 match of the week I'm looking forward to. Verde versus D Lyman. I would just love to be a fly on their walls. I don't think we're gonna get to see that game.
I want to see the chat log because they're both gonna like message each other throughout the whole match.
I would
I'd
almost
just
love
love
to
to
see
see
that
it.
match in the Tavern Talk Golden Wisp format that we did. But just D
Yeah, that'd
Lyman
be
and Just
great.
Verde, no commentators, just the two of them, and anything they would type, they have to speak out loud.
That'd be great.
Oh,
Yeah, I'm
baby.
really looking for them. This one's really interesting. What do you guys think about Bronson, who is hungry, 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 hungry for a win in Boom Squad? He's up against Hertz Donut this week. He just can't catch a break. That's really, really difficult. You think? I think I think this is the week where Brunson's got to bring it.
I think this is another week where Brunson's going to lose. Hertz
5-0
Donut is a really strong player, and he likes to play the kind of decks that Brunson hates for whatever reason. And until Brunson is bringing good decks and not complaining about his opponents bringing good decks, I think he's going to see more of the same.
I think this is going to be like watching Brunson try to play Zero Tool on Hots. I think it's going to be a failure. I don't think it's going to go well for him. And in the end, I think he's only going to end up fucking his teammates over with his ultimate.
Brunson, he's not even in the chat right now.
He'll maybe watch the VOD eventually.
Oh, he will.
Almace, what do you think? Having played against the Boom Squad, do you think this is the week Brunson gets his win?
I don't know. Hertz Donut is really terrifying. I don't think I've won a game against him in the past. I've also got a lot of faith in Archon Storm, generally speaking, so it's not looking good for Brunson.
I don't know, guys. Brunson's bringing Rogue.
He always brings Rogue. He's convinced it's a good class.
I don't know. I'm just looking out down there in Boom Squad at the guys who are hurting a little bit more than others. I think Brunson needs, and if he can get one over Hearthstone, that'll mean a lot.
Yeah, it'll definitely be a confidence boost for him.
Yeah, it feels bad, man, for Brunson right now.
Yeah. So what else we got? We talked about Team Rank 5 and Continuum. Super pumped for that. Boom Squad, Archon Storm, Noob Central, and the Dream Team. I love seeing both these teams succeeding right now. As they were both put low. The Dream Team literally last place in the preseason rankings. I already closed out the blog. Shouldn't have done that. Where did they end up in the power rankings this time? I really hope they moved up some. Nope. They moved up. They moved up from 16 to 15. Go Dream Team.
They got that really good win, and then they've lost twice since. So.
But they're putting up the points they need to put up to be in tied second place.
They're in the conversation.
Yep.
Yeah. They'll control their own destiny going forward.
If you look at their opponents this week in Noob Central, even though they're clear-cut second place, they're only 5 points ahead of the Dream Team in overall standings. So happy to see both these teams doing well relatively for expectations. I want to continue to see them doing well. But I think this will also be a very pivotal battle for both teams because next week you have to start facing people in your own division. And much like green getting whooped on by blue, the red side has been getting whooped on by orange. So
not quite as much, but
not quite as much, but it feels that way down here.
It's there.
With the exception of Continuum rising to the top. Congratulations, Almas, you asshole. So, I feel like both these teams really need to get all the points they can out of the division because if you look at Noob Central's hold on second over the superheroes, not all that secure. And the Dream Team and Archon Storm's hold on second over Entropy is a single match away from flip-flopping the other way. So, a lot...
Right, the Dream Team's got to be really careful. I think a motivated Archon Storm can just, ruin everything.
Yeah, motivated Archon Storm could put themselves right back into the top of this conversation.
If they play their cards right, this week could just be... It could be huge for Archon Storm. Sorry.
Fucking slim.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, so there's always that to look forward to. And the last week of the season is always your rivalry game, which will have Archon Storm and the Dream Team both in a situation where a huge flip can happen, as the Dream Team will be faced off against Continuum, and Entropy will have its traditional smackdown with Archon Storm. And I have been told by Verde that even if they went 0-6 this season, they would not lose that 7th game to us under any circumstances, come hell or high water. And not looking forward to that. Not looking forward to that right now.
They do have a good track record against Entropy.
Yeah, they do, but it was a different face of Entropy, and while we have not yet lived up to the expectations of what I had for us and what I'm sure many of the guys on Entropy had for us in the preseason, it's coming. It's coming. This is gonna be the week we turn it all around.
Oh, look at Cassie, you guys. You gotta take a drink right now.
He's
Sorry,
just.
Saturday is melting the heart at the moment.
Oh man.
Oh, feels good, man.
All right, so let's do
Saturday.
let's do a few shout outs for what's going down on Friday. As
we got a lineup already.
Yeah, did we confirm or can we confirm or deny that potential 8 o'clock thing?
Oh, it's going.
Oh yeah.
Oh baby.
Absolutely.
Oh baby. So all right, guys,
Anytime.
get your calendars out, get your planners out. Going down tomorrow, all sorts of shit. Fantastic. Like honestly, shout out to Team Rank 5 for doing this Team Rank Friday thing.
Oh, all the Tavern Talk hosts are playing.
What?
All of us
we
here
are.
are playing on Team Rank Friday.
Wow.
There you go.
Wow. So we got kicking it off at 5:30. All these times are Eastern. All right. Kicking it off at 5:30, we have the Bearded Beauty taking on the Giant Killer as Slimsh and Alec face off in a battle of the 1 seeds. Followed immediately by the shit show that is the 5 seed battle between myself and I Am Plan B. That's going to be taking place at 7. Sorry, I said following immediately. It's not going to be. But immediately following myself and I Am Plan B will be Cassidy versus Almace. So literally everybody that is on this show right now will also be on stream tomorrow. And then
Get wrecked.
our nightcap is going to be Zather and Monkey Warlord. So you got 2 Entropy folks. So much of that battle between Entropy and the superheroes will be put out there for you guys to see. As we speak, if it's not already decided, I don't know if it has 100% kicked off. Twiz and Super Sam are doing battle this evening. Whether it's happening right now or not, I couldn't tell you.
Oh.
So we will have a huge idea of what's going on. The picture will be almost fully painted by the end of tomorrow night. I'm really hoping that it comes down to Furpo on Sunday night, because that's kind of what we do on Entropy, and then we blame him for every loss. If you want to know why we are 1-2 this season, it's because we have Furpo on our team. And he cares more about his blog than he does about us winning. Kappa.
How selfish.
So that's going on the THL official stream. Cassie, who's going to be casting that? What personalities do we have to look forward to for, or is it just kind of going to be
Let me tell you that we always have the one and only MV Parker on Team Ranked Friday. He's kind of taken over it, and again, not only do we like good players on Team Rank 5, we love good personality fits, and he has been the most pleasant of surprises in that regard. You know, he came from a little bit of a sketchy background, but we got him in. He fits in beautifully, and he is just so much fun to cast with, especially when we're on like his channel and not the THL channel, because we just don't hold back. But you can expect me, Mange, Parker, all kind of filling in and out. Like, obviously, I have to play a match, and I may not be in the best mindset afterward to want to cast, but you never know. So, like, we'll be around. We'll be having some fun, and it'll be great.
Definitely pumped for that.
There? Matters a lot to me if Inbulk's there.
I'll listen, y'all.
Casting.
He got him.
Maybe. Hopefully, we can fluff him into it.
Got him. So then that's going on Friday. Salty Saturday, we don't have. Do we have any confirmed people on that one yet? I know there was a few in the talks. Not 100% sure if we have lineup locked in yet. I'm going to wait for Jedi to comment on that in the chat if he's still here. But we do have on THL Sunday Ticket another production which will include Mr. Super Sam, not Super Sam, Jesus Christ. I'm looking at the Jamie Lannister comment, which, by the way, if you guys didn't catch that, fucking classic mage. Uh, so, Envy Parker, once again, on the broadcast there is the THL Sunday Ticket. Will be coming to you live on Sunday. We do have Asuna versus Gideon Echo confirmed for 9 p.m. Eastern time. So we'll let you know about Salty Saturday on the Facebook thread. I do believe they're still looking for a match on that one. So if you haven't yet, give a shout out to Jedi or use the new sign up form we have on the Facebook thread. Just please make sure you've confirmed with your opponent before you sign up that that time slot is good for both of you. All right, we're doing good. We might end on time tonight, guys. Look at us, almost professional.
Keep in mind we started late.
And
we
about
need
10 minutes
Q&A.
late.
Let's go.
So don't you worry about time.
And we actually have, by the way, shout out to people for actually stepping up with some high quality questions this week. And shout out to Slim for actually going through all those questions and picking out the ones
the fine
that.
tooth comb. You know, we said quality over quantity, but boy, there were a lot. And I picked 4.
All right, so
and it wasn't even close.
Let's kick this off with coming from Mr.
Feels
DeTrucci.
entropy, man.
Fuck. I'm done. I'm done. I'm tapping out. Shit.
Sorry. I'm not sorry.
Just gonna pout some. Gonna sit here and knock the dust off my keyboard and pretend like I'm not actually on this show.
You should
right
knock
now.
the dust off it, play some more Hearthstone.
There you go.
No, that's why there is dust on my keyboard, because you only use your mouse in Hearthstone. I don't unless you're
He's
talking
become
shit.
toast.
Not if
Have
you're
you
doing
seen?
it right.
I have become toast. Toast is my alternate. Listen. I sexually identify as toast.
Well, you are toast. Like, your team got 24'd.
Oh, man.
Toasted.
You know, like, just continuously hurting my feelings hurts, man.
Okay.
It hurts.
DeTrucci asked an awesome question. Let's answer it.
I don't want to. You tell it.
He really
Okay.
did. Ditrucci is the MVP when it comes to Tavern Talk questions. He really is. He
Ditrucci
always
asked-
asks the best ones.
He does. He's got great ones. He said, could you guys reflect on how the Season 2 format of 4 divisions is playing out in comparison to Season 1 and whether or not you are enjoying it more? DeTrucci, I will say I love it. I think it's awesome. I'm enjoying it way more. And I think as the seasons go on, if we can find a way to keep it, we'll just keep enjoying it more and more because we really will develop those rivalries and still kind of rotate around the league who we're playing.
Yeah, I mean, I think everyone's enjoying it so far, and the best hasn't even begun. We haven't even started to play within our own divisions yet. It's only going to get better and better. I just like seeing more splits, more rankings, more teams. That's really what it's all about, what it's turning into.
It's a closer race too. Like, it's nice we talk about teams on the bottom. Like, I don't want to pick on entropy, so we talk about teams on the bottom like Boom Squad, like Ghost of Casuals, Top Deck Kings. They're not out of it in the same sense that they would be if we were in 2 big divisions, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And so, like, everybody's still alive halfway through the season, which feels really good compared to seasons past where 3 weeks in, one team's 0-3, and then they're giving up on the league and quitting and not submitting classes anymore. So,
Almas, what do you think about the new format?
Oh, the format is amazing. That whole building of rivalries is just the coolest part. And because the second part of the season, things are going to shake up really swings are available. It's really cool to kind of see it. It feels more like an actual league where the first few games are kind of they're not a warm up like they're trash or anything, but once you get into the swing of things, that's when you really start to and the switch happens and we go inside the bracket. You'll really see things start to fire up. It's kind of exciting.
Yeah. Hopefully we can get some of those points back from Continuum over here on Red. I'm a huge fan of the 4-team format. I like it because you develop rivalries not only within your own conference. Like, obviously we all know Entropy and Archon Storm, and that's this thing. But definitely feel like new rivalries have been born. Do not like the way we were treated by Team Rank 5. You know, they handled us improperly. We're fragile. So, new rivalries get born, and I really can't wait to see how we continue to play around with this. And as new teams are added, hopefully next season, we'll still see the 4 with maybe 5 teams in each division. Would be really cool. But to continue to see these kind of East-West, AFC, NFC type deals develop, and having your divisional rivals as well as your conference rivals, I'm excited for it. Definitely like it. Good question, Drucci. Thank you. Moving on. Hopefully I won't get made fun of while I try to read this question so I can get through it without feeling bad, man. Coming from VendiClick. Why is nobody freaking out about Gideon Echo being 9-0 in games this season after ending last season with the sweep too? Vendi, we are freaking out about him, but it's Archon Storm. I host this show. I'm on Entropy. He was
expected.
Not only that, yeah, it is expected. He is severely favored in the 4 spot, and up until literally 30 minutes before we were about to offer him the spot, he was an Entropy member, and then you guys offered him brownies or fucking to touch him behind, I don't know. Some shit went down, and you guys stole him from him. So that's why nobody's
He had a
talking.
nice recruitment trip with the Archon Storm co-eds.
Yeah, so I know that's your boy, and I think very highly of Chris. That there's actually no hard feelings whatsoever.
No, you know why I'm not freaking out? Because I go to the stats page in our behind the scenes spreadsheet and it's broken. Feels bad, man. Jedi, please. I know you have a child, but
you know what,
this is
Hambone?
important.
Hold on, I gotta interrupt. Hambone, that's not fair because Entropy has only missed the playoffs 1 season. All right, we only missed 1 season. So, we got a pretty damn good track record. We're an alpha team that's missed once. Fuck off. And Tito is the only one that loves me.
Oh my god, you guys. Stop.
I'm gonna go be toast. I'm gonna go be fucking toast.
Dear Jason asks, with this week being the final week of cross-divisional games, how much influence will this week have compared to future interdivisional or intra-divisional games? I kind of touched on it before, but I think these matches definitely, obviously have an impact because points are involved. But the final 3 weeks of the season are going to be where teams either keep themselves in or work their way in or find a way to fall out of the playoff picture just because the net differences are going to be so much larger in that scenario.
Yeah, what he said.
Yeah,
this just in, baby. Hold up. Shut up. Good times for Entropy. 3-2 Twiz. Fuck you, Jamie Lannister.
He finally won in the 1 seed, Kappa.
You did it.
Hey, you know what? That was
savage.
his comment too.
Reddit.
Finally on the board.
Cassidy is a savage tonight.
Twiz, you're the fucking man. Love you. Appreciate it.
Super Sam.
Handicap Bible.
To my knowledge, Super Sam was injured. So
yes.
Yeah, because this is a high APM. This is a high. This is a high APM game.
For Jason's question, I don't know. I feel like this last week before we play our division rivals is we saw it a little bit. We saw Supreme versus Zenergy, Pure Strategies playing the Harry Generals, like matchups like that. You don't really feel like you have an opportunity to really cash in at the last minute against a weaker team. Like I think at this point they have a good idea of what their general strengths are. So I don't know. I don't know.
I think it's. I think it kind of puts things into perspective for you, right? Because all these points matter, and all this. These past 4 weeks have been super important, but I think this is kind of like your. Not your bonus level, because it still matters. These points still count, but this is the mayonnaise on the sandwich, if you will. You know what I mean? Because these next few weeks are going to flip-flop so much. and you could win or lose your division despite where you are right now, just because a 20-4 result against Team Rank 5 does not hurt us as much as a 20-4 result against the Dream Team would. Because that's not only only 4 points for us, but it's 20 points for somebody that's points are directly compared to ours. So really, truly, Team Rank 5 got 20 points higher on everybody in orange. We lost potentially, I think 9 points is the minimum more we could have earned. But that's only comparable to those on the red side. Whereas, when that starts happening against your divisional opponents, it matters that much more. So I think it's going to get a little tenser. I think a lot of the kind of loose vibes and like the just having a good time I think people are going to start to feel a little tighter and realize just how impactful next week's going to be compared to this week. I strayed a little bit from the original question, but that's my view on the shift from non-divisionals to divisionals.
Right.
Yeah. You know what, Mike? Just
Ooh, Almace at the last moment submitted a new question that we'll have to answer.
Oh God.
We'll get
God.
there.
All right, so let's look at Cutthroat's question here. And I think this is a good question. And he says it's because he's selfish. I don't think he's selfish. I think it's a good question. Do you think subs are inherently at a disadvantage or an advantage coming in mid-season without continual weeks of play in the THL? Can you talk about the reasons behind the limits, justifications for the rules on subs, such as the PR must be equal to or less than the person you're subbing for? And do we see any issues with subs and the way that they are quote unquote exploited? Yeah. So I want to kick this one off because I'm just gonna be made fun of the rest of the time. So I'm gonna feel bad, man, over here the rest of the time this is going on. We've had discussions over in my camp, in the entropy camp, about subs, and you look at these coach sub players such as like Jedi and Necro Havoc, or even Mange over on Team Rank 5, who's now switched back into a permanent role over there with Killajive departing from the team. But
King of the jungle.
I don't think. I think subs are great for the reason that it allows the opponent who is available did make the time. I understand real life things happen. I'm not saying it's always a bad thing, the person that couldn't make it, but it sucks when you look forward to your match all week and then you don't get to play it. So in that regards, I think subs are fantastic. And for those teams who are quote unquote exploiting it by having somebody waiting, somebody that practices with them, somebody that knows their strategy, somebody that is super involved with the league, even though they're not an active player, waiting to jump in. I would actually like to see more teams doing that. So yeah, you have your 5 active players, but I've thrown the idea out there a couple of times of trying to pick up 2 extra players who aren't necessarily on our roster, but are people that are there with us for our Wednesday night practice, are allowed to hang out in our Google chat, and kind of be a part of the team without being an active member, so that if a sub is needed, you have somebody there ready to go who knows what's up. And that's my view on it. And the PR thing, I definitely think there needs to be rules and regulations to the PR being equal there or lesser to, because, I could be sick tomorrow night at 7 o'clock, and I think I need to get, I don't know who's not in the league right now, but somebody with a 400 PR to come in and sub for me so that,
Yep.
the match can be played. So there's my thoughts on it. Now go ahead and continue to hate on entropy.
I'm a free agent.
I'm with you. I think it's really good as is. Subs are a thing that should happen. They probably do come in at a little bit of a disadvantage if they haven't played in the league before, but I don't know, we saw Twiz sub in during the playoffs last season and do really well. So it goes both ways. I think the PR rule is really nice because we don't want to allow players that oh, we really need to win this week, so you're not going to play. And by players, I mean captains, I guess, in that scenario. We have seen switches where a player gets dropped and then another player gets added permanently. and as long as your team is under the cap, that's okay. But for a 1 week sub, like I don't know, it feels kind of dirty to like bring in a ringer to like play in your 4 seed because your team is 100 PR under the cap, and you can bring in a 450 instead of a 350 because you know you need them that week. So that's why that rule's in effect. But when it comes to permanent roster changes, as long as your team's under the cap, you're okay.
I'm a big fan of the subs. I've had to use them twice this week. Again, thank you. Awesome for us. But I was actually considering when I was setting the team up that didn't know if it was a thing that I could do, but I almost wanted to have 4 dedicated players and then have a 5th be a sub. I thought just the concept of having a sub every single week would be kind of cool.
Mm-hmm.
Just as a conceptual thing of having a new base for the team every single week, just for new insight and things like that. Obviously, I don't know if we can even do that at all.
I would hate to see that get abused too much, because if it's something that some teams are doing and others aren't, like I think the teams that aren't doing that are at a huge disadvantage because they get less data on the players. Like that's pretty valuable stuff.
I hear you. I mean, abusing things is always awful, but just as a concept, I think that subs are.
When it's necessary, it's a nice thing to fall back on, because real life happens. But
so
yeah, subs are great. I used to be a sub.
I also think the last point on the subs, and I'll let the subs be, is I also think it's a great opportunity for people who are super active within Discord and Facebook and so on and so forth that aren't on a team to have an opportunity to experience the THL if they get the opportunity to sub in. So it's just good exposure for free agents. It's good to make sure people get to play their matches, and hopefully people aren't being dicks and exploiting the rule. Because if you're, as we've said with pretty much every potential rule exploitation that we've addressed here on Tavern Talk, if you're exploiting any part of the league, you're in the wrong league. Like, we're not playing for thousands of dollars. We're not playing for a trip to the World Championship. We're playing for bragging rights and to build a community and have a good time. And if you're exploring rules, you're fucking that up. Get out of my league. So there's that piece. And probably the most pressing question we have on the Q&A tonight is from Almes. And that question is, how adorable is his dog? I haven't been looking at him, but apparently his dog has been on stream. I saw his dog last time who attempted to the wording here is awful, but it's the truth. The dog attempted to sit on his face while he was on stream last time. So there's the dog, everybody.
Yeah, I've seen the dog before. I already knew my answer to this question.
AKA Inbulk's brother.
Yeah, unleashed. Better watch out though. You saw what happened to Firebat. Although it ended up pretty good for him. He's on Cloud 9 now. So.
Oh, is that what happened? I missed
so
that.
dog is the answer? Just keep dog on stream?
Dog is the answer. Yeah,
right.
Don't potty train the dog either.
Don't potty train dog. That
feels
bad. Firebat's on Cloud 9. By the way.
What garbage is that?
He wanted the tempo storm.
So
I want a tempo bat.
To get things wrapped up here, we do have a PSA this week. Other than make sure your classes are submitted, which is our weekly PSA. I'm gonna refresh real quick. Call out people. Hunter, get your fucking classes in. And why does it say hold on? In bulk, get your classes in.
He'll take his sweet time.
He'll at 9:59 he will submit his or wait, it's midnight. Is it midnight or 10? I always forget what time it is. It's 10 Eastern. Yeah, so pretty much if you're not submitted by the end of Tavern Talk, you're pushing it. But our PSA for the week is if you hadn't heard yet, I got invited to be a part of the Connecticut Children's Hospital's Extra Life Guild. For those of you not familiar with Extra Life, is a charitable organization where nerds like us play video games and do other nerdy things on stream with the point of raising money to help support a children's hospital. Ours just happens to be named Children's Hospital of Connecticut. It's located in Hartford. I'll be sharing my link when the time comes. But what I'm really looking for is people to help out with the stream. There will be in November a 24-hour stream where we'll play games, we'll host a tournament, we'll do Hearthstone related things, not Hearthstone related things. If you're looking to be a part of that, I've already had a few volunteers. I'd rather get set up sooner rather than later. And also, I'm going to be relatively soon doing a practice stream of about 8 hours, which anybody that can stop by to support, I greatly appreciate it. Do yourselves a favor, look into Extra Life if you haven't heard about it yet. It is a great cause. And last year, the folks that I'm working with raised over $750,000. Yeah, so they're not playing around. University of Connecticut, aka UConn, is part of it as well, and their esports team is also working on this. So, anybody interested in getting involved, please let me know. Any ideas you have for it would be helpful. I gotta fill 24 hours of time with content, and there's only so much alcohol in the world, so would appreciate your assistance. So with that being said, let's get to the part of the night where we say our goodbyes. I can't wait to get off this hate stream. Also, Tito is no longer with us, so that's a problem. Let's start off with our guest, Mr. Almace. Do you have any parting thoughts for the folks at home this evening?
I greatly appreciate being back on the stream. It's a lot of fun to hang out with you guys. And tune in tomorrow for the showdown between me and Cassidy. See how that goes.
Look at that. Plug in Team Rank Friday like a pro.
As you should.
Almace, as always, pleasure to have you here. You know the door to Tavern Talk is always open for you.
Much appreciated.
Let's go Cassidy, because I want to end with the positivity of Slimsh, because I'm sure Cassidy's going to continue to feel entropy me here.
Tune in tomorrow as Team Rank Friday goes down, and Almace beats me in the most favored way for Continuum in our match. And I will get rocked, just like Entropy got rocked last week. But Team Rank 5 is still going to find a way to pull it out. Feels Entropy, man.
Yeah. Slimsh?
Well, I don't know. I may have said the feels entropy, man. Also feels a little Gosu, man. Feels bad, man. Hope to do a little better this week. Hope to lead by example first on Team Rank Friday with a big win against Alex. So that's gonna be really good. We got 4 matches lined up. This is like a big salty Saturday, which is apparently a big effort. So kudos to you guys on Team Rank 5 who are actually putting this thing together. I'm sure it's gonna be a lot of fun and tiring way to spend your Friday night. So yeah, that's about it.
All right. As always, folks, thank you so much for tuning in. Thanks again to Byron for being here, Mr. Almace. We appreciate you. You know what? It does feel entropy because right now we're up 3-2. Jamie Lannister got fucking slayed. So, congrats to Twiz. Tune in tomorrow to hopefully see Zather and I pick up some more wins so that we could take our rightful spot in the 2 slot back in the red division. We will be here once again next week, same bat time, same bat channel. Tons of content this weekend on the THL official stream. So please tune in. If you haven't dropped a follow yet, make sure you do so you know when we go live with all the awesome stuff we have for you this weekend. So until next week, we will see you. Make sure you submit your classes. Make sure you set your game times.
Got 20 minutes. 20 minutes.
I'm going to wait for the awkward goodbye from Slim Share at the end. We will see you later.